Hello everybody, I'm going to show you the basis on how to play the Shokaku. Okay, so let's get this started. Now I run the 2-2-2 setup, which means 2 fighters, 2 dives, and 2 torp bombers. Now the AA is pretty much abysmal, as you can see here on the Shokaku. It's okay, it's 57, but it's not the greatest either way. Maneuverability, 13-second rotor shift time, not that greatest, and turning radius is abysmal, like normally carriers are. And it just gets worse with the later tiers. Survivability, 51,000 hit points isn't that bad. Neither is the armor of 215. Now, don't forget, this is still a wooden flight deck. This is not a armored flight deck comparison to the Carrrier and the Taiho. This is still a wooden deck, so it'll catch fire very easily, and you have to watch out for that. So, let's get this started. Actually, I haven't spoke to you about the captain's perk, so let's talk about that first, okay? Now, Japanese, you definitely want this expert rear gunner, which helps the rear gunner a little bit. Torpedo armament, which allows minus 20% to service time in torpedo planes, which is a lot. It's a big difference in a battle. Torpedo acceleration, which allows your torpedo squadrons to have, because you don't engage that far with your torpedo squadrons. I mean, your torpedo squadrons you see here, right? They have a range of 2.7 clicks, but you don't shoot them 2.7 clicks away at an X amount of knottage, okay, because or else you're just gonna miss it completely. You want to get closer. You get within like 0.5 clicks. That's the whole point, is for carriers, is to get within 0.5 clicks approximately. So, oh, sorry. Next step is you need service armament for aircraft service expert, which allows you to have minus 10% the service time for carrier-based aircraft. So you're talking about here 10%, 20%. So that's a 30% difference on your torp planes alone. So 30% there, and then after that you have here another 10%, which you're looking at 40% difference on your torp planes. So if you can imagine, you have 40% quicker on your torp planes for your reload time. That's a huge deficit. You're cutting your reload almost in half. So you have to remember that factor. I'd rather have that than have high alert. Now, high alert will eventually come. If this high alert comes after air supremacy, which is when you get the higher tiers, like here in my Carrrier. As you can see here, this is how my base is set up. Now, you really don't need this too much in tier 10s because it really doesn't make a difference for your self-defense armament too much. But torpedo armament, this makes a big difference to high alert, and you definitely want the AA to at least shoot down some planes before they get near you. Air supremacy, you're gonna definitely need that, and aircraft service time. So that's the basis of the Carrrier. But for the Shokaku, what I have is good enough for now. So, let's get a game started, even so if I don't have all the upgrades on, but that's okay. It won't hurt. Come on, game. Slight lag. It's been happening lately. If anybody noticed in warships, it happens quite a bit. Okay, we pretty much got a game right now. And right now I'm noticing people are playing between tier 7 to between tier 5 and tier 7 carriers a lot. Tier 8 carriers even. Tier 9s and 10s, you don't see too many of them because you can have astronomical losses on it. So now versus a Lexington, we're in luck. So if he's running bomber loadout, he's completely screwed. He has no fighters. I have free reign over all his dive bombers, all his torp planes, everything. He is completely done for. Tier 8 cruisers, New Orleans, gotta watch out for him. Then after that you have Mogami, not as bad. Cleveland is actually pretty good comparison to the Mogamis with AA, believe it or not. Mahan, and Mitsuki. Now the two Mahans I'm pretty worried for my destroyers, but with the cruisers that I have, Mikhail, a Mogami isn't that bad. North Carolina and Tirpitz and Amagi, I'd rather have these two than have this Colorado here, obviously. So let's begin the game. Alright, so starting in 6 seconds. Now, we gotta see where the basis of our planes are coming up. So, if you can imagine, now, the service time for my torpedo planes are are approximately 15 seconds. If you divide that, if you say you need another 40%, if you really think about it, it becomes almost up to 28 seconds. He's asking for AA escort. Let's say please. Now, we would rather the Cleveland because the Cleveland's the weaker of them all, but he has good AA still for... So now we know there's a group up here. So now we gotta find out somehow what this other, whether Lexington has as that. Now, judging by the basis of that he still hasn't gone up here yet, I think he might be running a bomber loadout. Because normally with fighters, he tries to go for center of the map and tries to find us right off the bat. Yeah, he's running bomber loadout. No, he's running fighters. Yeah, he's running fighter loadout. So, what I have the ability to do is distract his fighters. Okay, so let's get back here. I know I can't engage the carrier yet, so let's get back a little bit. Okay, so you see he's gotten my Thor plane's gone, right? So that's a strafing run right there. Okay, so we know he's somewhere here. You can see the way his fighters, his bombers are moving. We know where he is. He's somewhere around this area here. Okay, so yeah, the Colorado here. Okay, now this is an opportunity and a half. We have an opportunity to carrier snipe. Carrier sniping is when you go right in the beginning of the match and you try to snipe out that carrier. So now, I see the angle that the carrier is in, right? Not good. So we know he's in there like that, so that's good. So let's send in our bombers. One set of bombers to snatch him on fire. Alright, so that means he can't now. Now I'll send in the second set. No, that's it. So that looked like it hit into his carrier bag. That was close. So we lost our our fighters and our bombers, but at least we hit the carrier for almost half his health. That's if he That's if he actually gets it in time. Now remember, we got that. So that carrier is possibly gonna die. Not too sure, but possibly. Okay, his fighter squadrons have literally been cut in half. Definition of it. So I want to see if I can possibly snipe them out, which I most likely will be able to, like right now. So as you can see here, I was able to snipe out the carrier bases. Now let's go. We are gonna go something called destroyer hunting. So let's send this group 2 here to retreat, because I don't want it getting killed off. So what we're doing now is just spotting destroyers with our fighters temporarily. So let's see if we could bomb some destroyers, see if we can do this. So as you can see, I'm going from the back for a reason. I'm going from the back of the... I'm going from the back is because what it is that if you go from the front, the readjustment may actually just not work properly. Because what happens if you go forwards... See, we know this carrier ain't dead right now, so let's go forwards. Let's go find this carrier. Yeah, see, as you can see, the carrier's still alive. So we know he has long reload fighter times because he's a Lexington. That's for sure. So if I can use, maybe use my fighters as a diversion to kill a Lexington, I will take that chance. Because then I won't need them as much anymore. Looks like that Lexington pretty much just gave up. Just to make sure, I'm gonna double shoot the torps, just to say, you know. And there he goes. See, that's what you call carrier sniping, right in the beginning of the match. I set him on fire, brought him down to almost half health. And that's the end of him. Now, what we're gonna use is, we're gonna use our fighters for spotting destroyers. Don't think fighters are completely useless, because, oh, well, you know, you killed the carrier finally, you know, they're only meant to defend. No, they're actually useful. They're meant to scout. At that point, they're meant to scout. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use our fighters. We're going to become a forward scouting unit for the destroyers, even. And as you can see, the Mitsuki's there. Now, they can't see the Mitsuki, but as soon as I brought my fighters over, watch what's going to happen. Oh, that Mitsuki's dead. Okay. So, let's go find that Mahan. Okay, so we know our bombers are there. We know our bombers are here. We know our guys are pushing to the south. So you want to follow with the pack. Now, I'm trying to look for any traces of that Mahan at all. That's my main priority right now. Because if that Mahan gets all the way around, I'm screwed. Okay, there's the Mahan. There we go. I just found him on the map. He just popped up right here. See him? Now, we have this lovely, lonely Colorado down here, which he is a juicy target right now. So, the objective is to take out the most ships as much as possible. We have a New Mexico and the North Co there. The North Co has pretty strong A, so we'll go for the ones with the weakest A. Take the most guns out of the game as quick as possible. Rule of thumb. A dead ship can actually still kill, cannot kill anything, cannot shoot anything, but a ship that's low health can still shoot and kill things. So the objective here is to kill. I know he's still on fire, but you know you still need bomber hits. Okay, that's some bomber hits. That's at least some damage. Every little nick and cranny we could take off, we'll take off. Yeah, there you go. Another set fire. Perfect. Yeah, he's going to get destroyed very quickly the way it's going. But still, use your fighters to scout. Find this Mahan. As you can see there. See, right now you see the enemy going like this, right? You see them mostly going like that. That's why my friendlies are going here. So they're acting as a wall. You want to follow that wall constantly. That's the trick with the carriers. If you don't follow that wall, you're a juicy target for the enemy. And that's the big trick behind it. Now, I'm going to use both my fighter sets to actually scout this. I know this Colorado's going down. There's no use trying to torp him. So, let's find something a new target, like this New Mexico. Now, I have a Cleveland coming here, so I gotta retreat back with my fighters a little bit more. I don't want them getting totally knocked out. No use in wasting planes away. So we know this guy's able to engage us, right? So let's try come in here. Okay, well now we have no choice here. We're getting engaged, so as might as well as we go all in here. Yeah, as you can see here, only one torpedo. That's really unfortunate, but whatever. So next I know that guy... See, now we have... See, we're scouting this DD now. And also that Mikhail knew that, so... I really lost unnecessary bombers, but that's okay. Okay, so by us scouting that DD now, we just helped the Mikhail be able to move up no problem. Now all we have is battleships left. So now we have the opportunity to move in. Now, as you can see with my bombers, what do I always try to do? I always try to go from back to front, because what happens is, yeah, you're tracing away, but if you go frontwards, what happens is that it's possible that if you go too frontwards, you're in a click where your fighters are too late to go in, so they're going to have to back around and come back again. So, and you don't want that, because that's a waste of time, and that's more AA fire than usual. I'd rather have it where there's no AA fire at all. Now, we know there's 2 battleships left. Let's bring our carrier as close as possible, so we can engage him as close as possible. Let's set this New Mexico back on fire. He looks too... He needs to be more crispy. So, as you can see here, bang, I could always readjust real quick. Very easy to readjust it, so that way I can set him on fire again. And I got another set of bombs. There you go. Another 2 fires. There we go. We can see a little bit. That's alright. Don't worry. I highly doubt our planes are going to get there in time, because it takes quite a while, but let's see if we can do it. As you can see, that Mikhail's about to die. So, you know what? The more our ships die, consider it this way. The more our ships die, the more we have the opportunity to go for them. Now, we know this North Carolina is almost dead, and he's also healing up, I believe. So, North Carolina is the last one. Let's go in for the NC. As you can see here, this is the end of this NC. He's not escaping this anytime soon. That's it, and that's how you basically play carriers. So guys, I hope you enjoy. Actually, no, let's go back and check it out. You can see here all the results. Well, let's go back and check this out, okay? We have 14 planes shot down. It's minimal, but we took out the carrier. The Lexington might have shot down 20 of my planes, but he lost his carrier for those 20 planes. You understand? He went to engage my fighters instead of trying to find my bombers. So that's the luck of my side. And also because I have 2 bomber squadrons. He has 2 fighter squadrons, and I have 2 fighter squadrons. I could easily distract them, which is exactly what I did. Total of 74,000 damage. As you can see, North Carolina we killed, but only with 1 torpedo. I mean, he was at the end of his life. But this Lexington, that was the most important kill, because we were free to rain afterwards. That's what you want to do as Japanese carriers, is try to carrier snipe. And they left them virtually unprotected. As you can see here, 9 torpedoes, 9 bomb hits, but the 5 fires... If we see the fire damage alone by shooting fire damage caused, look at this, okay? We have 13,000 damage. Those 13,000 damage could go up to more than that very easily, but most of that was on that Lexington. So all that time, when he was reloading his fighters and not being able to actually put them down back on the deck, he was on fire. He couldn't launch anything afterwards. Torpedo hits, as you can see, 50,000, and direct bomb hits is that much. But, you know, it shows the deficit of the Lexington. And if he repairs a carrier right away before noticing anything, wait till the carrier finishes repairing, or else he's going to either flood or burn to death. It's one of the two. So you just got to wait a little while. So that concludes that. So this is a basis of how to play a Shokaku, and also check my latest video, which was a Ryujo. So enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy. It's a very low tier stakes match. It wasn't that big. The players weren't exactly the greatest, and Lexington was left uncovered. But if the Lexington is covered with an AA cruiser, like I was with that Mikhail in the beginning of the match, what I recommend is that you actually go for something else and just hold off with your fighters for a little while. So that's how to go. So guys, I hope you enjoy.